All right, Shakespeare fans, ready to tackle some serious drama. Today's deep dive, we're heading straight into the heart of Romeo and Juliet, Act 1, Scene 2.
We're talking key scenes, character motivations, all the good stuff to help you totally nail that next class discussion.
Think of it like this, we're handing you the cheat sheet, but, the cool kind. So, Scene 2 kicks off right where we left off, with Lord Capulet in Paris. They're just wrapping up their little chat about, well, Juliet.
And let's just say Paris is, he's quite smitten.
Head over heels. He wants to marry Juliet, like, yesterday.
And he's laying it on pretty thick, too. All formal, super polite, asking Capulet for Juliet's hand in marriage. But remember, Juliet's, well, she's young.
Like, really young, not even 14 yet. Puts a whole new spin on things, doesn't it?
Totally changes the perspective.
Big time. But anyway, Capulet, he doesn't exactly say yes.
Not right away, at least. He hesitates a bit, says Juliet's still too young, but there's always a but with Shakespeare.
Oh, but all right, Capulet, being the sly fox he is, invites Paris to this big fancy feast he's throwing that very night.
Yeah, he tells Paris to come to the feast, scope out Juliet, woo her a bit, see what's what.
Sounds innocent enough, right? Just a little meet and greet. Except
Capulet throws in this little caveat. He tells Paris to compare Juliet to all the other women at the feast. Like, oh, just make sure she measures up, But you can tell Capulet's totally convinced no one else even comes close.
total dad mode activated.
Yeah.
My daughter's the best, prove me wrong.
Exactly. It's all a bit of a game to him. But here's the thing, this whole comparison thing, it actually hints at one of the big themes in the play. Blind love. Or at least love based on, well, superficial stuff, like just physical beauty.
Because, let's be real, how much can you really know about someone at a party?
Right. And speaking of not really knowing what you're getting into, enter the servant.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Our favorite comedic relief.
The guy who's supposed to be delivering these super important invitations. Yeah, well, there's a slight problem.
He can't read. Can you imagine?
And this is Shakespeare at his finest, taking this seemingly small detail and using it to set off this whole chain of events, like dominoes.
It's all about those little nudges of fate.
Right.
And trust me, this one's a biggie. Because while this servant's wandering around trying to figure out who can read this invitation for him, who does he bump into?
Only our main man, Romeo. And let me tell you, Romeo is not having a good day. He is completely hung up on Rosaline. Remember her?
Rosalind, the girl of his dreams, or so he thinks.
The one he's completely convinced is the only girl for him. He's like drowning in a sea of teenage angst over her.
And who better to run into when you're drowning in angst than a confused, illiterate servant, right?
It's almost like fate planned it, right? And you know what happens next? Our heartbroken Romeo, he actually stops to help.
Because even though he's like drowning in sadness, he's still a good guy at heart.
Exactly. So picture this. Romeo's standing there, reading this invitation, when bam, he sees it.
Rosalind's name. Talk about a plot twist.
Right. And just like that, Romeo's whole mood shifts. He's got this crazy idea now. He has to go to this party. He has to see Rosaline.
Even if it means crashing the party and risking, running into the Montagues. Talk about taking one for the team, or for love, I guess.
That's Romeo for you.
Yeah.
But luckily, his buddy Benvolio, he's there to, maybe inject a little logic into the situation.
Benvolio, voice of reason. We need more friends like him, am I right?
Totally. So Benvolio, he sees this as the perfect opportunity to, help Romeo get over Rosaline. Hey, let's go to this party. You can meet other girls.
Classic wingman move.
Right. But Romeo, he's not really buying it. I mean, he agrees to go to the party.
Because let's be honest, Romeo's not going to miss a chance to see Rosaline.
Exactly. But he's convinced that she's the most beautiful girl there. He's going to go to this party and he's going to prove Benvolio wrong.
Oh, Romeo, if only he knew, right? If only he knew that this party, this one little decision, was going to change his life forever. But that's where Act 1, Scene 2 leaves us, with Romeo about to walk straight into his destiny.
And what a destiny it's going to be.
Okay, so Romeo's at the Capulet party, trying to keep a low profile, probably sweating a little bit under that mask.
You know it. He's surrounded by Capulets, remember? Talk about walking into the lion's den.
And remember Tybalt? Juliet's hot-headed cousin. Yeah, he's ready to pounce on any Montague he sees.
Oh, Tybalt definitely senses something's up. But before things can escalate, before anyone can say Romeo Montague too loudly, guess what happens?
Romeo sees Juliet, And just like that, Rosalind who?
It's like the whole world stops spinning. Suddenly it's just Romeo and Juliet and this like magnetic force between them. Of course, Shakespeare lays it on thick, right? Romeo starts going on and on about Juliet's beauty, comparing her to stars, angels, you name it.
Talk about a whirlwind romance. But is it really love at first sight, or is Romeo just, a little bit dramatic?
That's the big question, isn't it? And Shakespeare, he's not giving us any easy answers. He leaves it up to us to decide. But one thing's for sure, there's definitely something powerful happening between them.
I mean, they haven't even spoken yet, and Romeo's already completely smitten.
Right. And when they finally do start talking, hold on to your hats, because it's about to get poetic.
Wait, are you saying they break out in verse at a party?
Oh, yeah. A sonnet, no less. Shakespeare loves to use sonnets to show, like, the height of romance and passion.
So instead of awkward small talk, they're trading sonnets. Smooth move, Romeo.
And it works. Because Juliet, she's totally drawn in by Romeo's words. They're flirting, they're confessing their feelings, and it's all building to this incredible climax until...
The truth comes out.
Crash! The party's over. Romeo and Juliet find out they're from feuding families. Talk about a mood killer.
Talk about star-crossed lovers. The weight of that ancient grudge their families hated all comes crashing down on them.
And that's where Shakespeare leaves us at the end of Act 1, Scene 2, completely heartbroken. And I think that's a good place for us to wrap up, too.
We've got secret party invites, lovesick teenagers, and a whole lot of drama.
And trust me, it's only going to get more intense from here.
So until next time, keep those copies of Romeo and Juliet handy.
And keep those thinking caps on. Because this is Shakespeare, and nothing is ever as simple as it seems.
See you next time.